Hi, welcome to your Town Administrator Update for October. I'm your host, Sydney Bowles, and I'm here with Town Administrator Paul Sagarino. How are you, Paul?
I'm doing okay, Sydney. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Great.
So, we're here mere hours after the select board meeting last night. Always a blast. Did you have a good time?
I wouldn't call it a good time, but, you know,
Yeah.
it's part of the job.
Yeah, it's just familiar faces, you know. It's where things get worked out. So there were a couple of really interesting things to come out of there that I would really love to talk to you about. And one of them was a couple of things where it sounds like there might be time to reconsider some of our policies, some of what our policies say, or consider new policies for things that hadn't necessarily been an issue yet before.
Indeed. Yes.
So the two that I'm thinking about are large-scale drinks, right? These restaurants that want to offer, you know, a one big punch bowl full of booze for a table of 4+ people. So the idea is maybe we should have a limit on how many of those per table per night. And then the other one is what qualifies a person for like a commemorative bench or commemorative sort of object on the town common, maybe needing a policy for that. What does it tell you that we're sort of in a position to be writing new policies for a couple of different things?
Well, you know, especially on the restaurants and the alcohol service, it's constantly evolving, right? So if you look back on the original alcohol policies of the select board, they were really written over the years to prevent what would be called a typical bar room, you know, like a place that I would like to hang around, you know, a place that just has booze in it, but no food or anything else. You go there and watch the game. And, you know, in the suburbs, that was just something, and the residents really didn't want it. You know, we wanted to have alcohol in conjunction with food, so there were restaurants first. And I think what we're seeing over time is, you know, people's attitudes towards alcohol have changed quite a bit, and they realize that it can be used as a social tool, and there are different types of venues that want to serve alcohol in conjunction with, you know, their primary thing other than food. You know, last night we had a golf simulator business, very successful. People seem to love it. Yeah. And, you know, I can tell you as the town administrator, the town takes the service of alcohol very seriously. The police department, they're doing stings every year, so we take it very seriously. It's a privilege that the town gives out. But at the end of the day, I think what you're seeing is that there's an evolving look at what type of venues may want to serve alcohol. And it may not be just your typical food restaurant where food's the primary thing. It could be you know, a museum or an art gallery, or as we've seen, you know, we have a King's, which is a combination of everything. But you know, I think these golf simulators are a good example of a really good type of business that we want to have in town, that the residents will enjoy. And you know, people like to go out and enjoy a drink or two while they're you know, playing an activity.
Yeah. So you bring up two separate things here. One is the reason this came up at the select board last night was that King's was looking to offer these large format drinks, and they were basically saying, like, no one's coming in and getting hammered off of these. It's, you kind of want your Instagram moment. It's kind of like a fun novelty thing, but it's not really the kind of thing that,
yeah,
you know.
I think they said that they sell 10 a week at one of their typical locations, which is not a lot.
I actually
quite
thought
expensive if you saw.
I actually thought it was. I thought they said it was 10 total per week. So basically 1 a week at each individual location is kind of what I heard.
Could be.
Yeah, but it's not a lot either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think it goes back to your traditional scorpion bowl at a Chinese food restaurant, which was, you know, was always a kind of a cool thing when people went out and ate that kind of food, that they would order a scorpion bowl and, you know, sip from the straws. So we have really good, clean establishments, and, you know, I think you saw how strict King's was on their alcohol policy. By the time someone gets to the third drink, the server needs permission from a manager to continue serving them. So, I mean, that is very strict. So, and that's the way we want it. You know, because like I say, we take it very seriously, and we don't want to attract any problems through alcohol, and we haven't. I think the town's done a really good job of sort of managing alcohol licenses and alcohol establishments in the town, and I think we got a lot of great businesses that are flourishing, and it just sort of adds to the local entertainment and ambiance of the town and things to do.
Yeah, you also mentioned the golf simulator bar that is hopefully opening up early next year in the
Birdie Bar.
Birdie Bar,
Great
yeah,
name, too.
yeah. This actually wanted to ask you about this as well, because it might just be me. It might just be the power of suggestion, but I feel like in the last couple of months, there's been what to me feels like an explosion of interesting, novel, exciting restaurants, bars, kind of entertainment venues. I wrote down a couple because there's a lot. It was Tate, Life Alive, Birdie Bar, Hot Pot, Chocho Hot Pot at the mall. This idea for like an artistic design coffee shop on Cambridge Street. It feels, is it just me, am I imagining it, or are we having like kind of a boom in restaurants?
I mean, we've become a dining destination, and I think that, where we've always been a great place to attract retail because of our location, we're also a great place to attract people from neighboring communities that want to dine and try these different experiences. So we're really happy about it. The town does receive a meals tax, and I've always looked at that as a really good one because it captures funds for the town budget from people that aren't residents, right? So these are the folks that are coming in using the roads and using public safety if they need an ambulance, and we're recouping some of that money instead of it always falling on our commercial and residential taxpayers. And again, it's we've really become a dining destination, and I would agree with you. I think that the concepts that are coming forward have been really unique. They're not the typical places that are coming here. They're all trying something a little different in each one of them, and I think that that's great to add to the diversity of us being a commercial center. We got a great place for businesses, we're great places for retail, and we're a great place for restaurants as well.
Yeah, part of me wonders if what we're experiencing right now is in some way a response to sort of where we are in the recovery from COVID. I mean, it seems sort of retro to be talking about impacts from COVID in late 2024, but the reality is I think it really hit the restaurant industry hard, and I think it would make sense for me if it took 4 years for people to really start thinking, okay, like now it's time to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I think it's really interesting if you look at the dining trends, and I'm not sure how it was when you were growing up. I know I'm much older, but going out to dinner back then was like a treat that you got to do once in a while. And I think society's attitudes have changed. People are really busy. Both parents working in a household, so I think dining out is more of a thing now than it used to be, and people are embracing it and saying, hey, let's go out to dinner tonight, as opposed to it being a special occasion kind of thing. It's how families and people sort of get through the week now. It just makes their life a little bit easier. No one has to cook, and so it's really awesome.
Yeah. All right, so let's circle back to one of my original sort of prepositions there. Paul Raymond, a longtime public servant for the town, being recognized for 50 years of service with the town. I'm assuming you know Paul.
Of course,
well.
Yes.
Any sort of words of congratulations for the honor? Or?
I mean, he's just a wonderful man. If you ever get a chance to meet him, he's just kind, and he's always upbeat and pleasant. And he's been on the planning board and recreation commission most of the time I'm here, so I haven't interacted with him a lot on a work level. But like I say, he's just a pleasure to be around. And when you put that much effort into the town over 50 years, I mean, we have so many great people, I think, as someone said, that built this town over the years and turned it into what it is today, which is an extremely desirable place that people want to live. And he's one of those people that deserves a lot of credit for that. Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, Town Administrator Paul Sagarino, thank you very much as always for coming in. I appreciate your time. Thanks, Sydney. It's great to be here. All right, I'm your host, Sydney Bowles. This is Town Administrator Update. Thanks for watching.